All right, first thing you want to do is you want to make your leader lines, okay? Now, everybody has their own way of doing their leader lines. For the shore, you want at least 22 to 24 inches, okay? So normally I just go from here to here, like that, and that's going to be my length there, okay? So there's one. I'm going to make a second one for the other rod. And there's two. Okay, so we got two leader lines there. Obviously, now one mistake that is often made is this needs to be thrown, okay, in order for you to have it locked, because a lot of times it'll go the other way, which I've done a million times, and you end up having to redo it because it wasn't thrown. All right, so there are two ways to set up your weights for the fishing rod. Now, some people use this, okay, which would give you the weight off with a leader line like so, off to the end, and that's okay, that works, okay? And then others, like myself, use a slip weight. So what I'm gonna do is take this, slide it onto my line first. See how that goes back and forth? When the weight's on there, it does that a lot better. And the purpose for this is so that when the fish go and grab the bait, they don't feel the resistance. They'll run with it. As soon as they feel the resistance, chances are they're going to let it go. Okay, not all the time, but most of the time. So I prefer using this. And then what you want to get is a swivel. Okay, so this is your swivel here. All right, doesn't have to be big. In fact, this one even still is a little bit too big, but it's the only one I got. So I am going to use this. And what we're going to do here is we're going to spin it. Some people do it many times. I do it like 6. No big deal. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you snake that right back through, and you pull on all, on this, and that. Sometimes you might have to use your mouth, but I seem to have gotten it here pretty good. Okay. Now, a little trick that I use when doing this is I'll loop it back in. Okay. Give it a little loop there, and then I'll do it one more time, go the opposite direction. Okay. Now, my trick is to hold it away from the knot like this, take a torch, and torch it to give it a slight little nub there so that it doesn't come back through the line and you have a nice strong hold. How I like to set up my hook is I come around the back side and I just hold this piece here, okay, like so, and then I wrap a couple of loops around my finger, 2, 3, 4, let's say, okay. Then I come back through here like this, and then I go through the loop here, the little loop here in the back on this top of the hook. Okay, like so. You pull that. Oh, sorry. Make sure you keep those loops there, and this piece here, and then you pull. There it is. How you doing? Good. Go back through this loop here. Okay, so there. That's how I do it. Okay? You don't need so many, you know. It's gonna hold the fish. Right? You can do more if you'd like. Some people do 6, some people do 8, some people do 12. I like that much. It works. And like I said, what I normally do here is I torch it to create that little nub there so it doesn't come back through. And you're all set. And we are all done setting this up. I normally don't put the weight on until we get down to the river. That was too long of a drive. We're going to use a little bit more of a heavier weight because of the full moon, and also because I'm using threaded line and poly line. So on the threaded line, I am going to use an 8 ounce, and the reason for that is because I really don't want it crossing over my poly line, because when those get twisted, there is no way of getting it undone. You're just going to have to cut it. And then I'm going to use 6 for the poly line. Now it's time put on the weight. Pinch here, unlock it, slide this through, and you're done. Now you see how it moves up and down? When we cast this into the water, the fish are going to swim, and this will not be felt by the striper. Perfect. And if you can see, I have them at a really good distance. Okay, so we got the poly line, the braided line over here. And then about, I want to say about 20 yards or so, I've got the other line over there. That's really important when it comes to shore fishing, okay? And you kind of want to be that way because of the amount of people that would be lining up here, especially on a gorgeous day. There'll be so many people lined up with their rods. You want to make sure you're at a safe distance.